Hello, and welcome. My name is Rich, and this is DCUO. Almost said Champions Online there again. It's not Champions Online. It hasn't been for a couple of months. Well, month and a half, maybe. This is DCUO. The character I'm playing as is Joke Android 9000, an electricity and dual pistols powered villain whose mentor is the Joker, as you may be able to guess. The idea behind the character being that this is a very special electrical elemental android built by T.O. Morrow for the Joker, who just does as the Joker says. No particularly complicated morality here. He's just following his programming whilst being outfitted, particularly with the mask, quite creepily. Specifically, what I'm about to do now is talk to Felix Faust. Ooh, Dark Shadows. That's a reference to the name of a TV series that was made in like the 60s and 70s, and then was made into like revived as a film in like 2012, I want to say, with Johnny Depp as a vampire. Anyway, we are in the right place for Faust. Why was I in that room? Was I going to go somewhere else? Oh well.
The Heart of Darkness is a legendary black diamond of unutterable evil, now manifesting in shards across Metropolis. Collect them and set their master Eclipso free. Accept, and I'll ward you against the diamond's corrosive touch. It should work. I sold my soul for it.
I don't think that's the only thing you sold your soul for, unless you played fast and loose with selling your soul and getting it back and selling it again. Or, I mean, maybe that's just a part of all the things you're capable of now that you've sold your soul. Pretty sure it wasn't protecting people from the corruptive touch of the Black Diamond. Felix Faust, for those who don't know, is definitely a reference to the old play, which featured a dude called Faust selling his soul. It's also famous for being, it's the place that the Faustian deal or Faustian bargain phrase comes from. And as well as the place where the 11th hour comes from, because an angel appears to... So, Faust sells his soul for power and personal gain, basically. And he gets warned by an angel not to do it, because it's bad. Faust ignores the angel and uses his powers very selfishly and hurts a lot of people. And then... So the terms of the deal for selling his soul were that he would have this power for a finite period of time, and at the stroke of midnight on a particular day, some years later, the devil would come and claim his soul and pull him down to hell, thus killing him, presumably. Or maybe he was brought to hell whole and alive. I'm not sure which would be worse. Anyway, Faust goes throughout all this time just living at large, being a giant asshole, using his powers for personal gain and to hurt people. And then at the 11th hour, the hour before the stroke of midnight, where his soul will be taken, and he'll be dragged down to hell, an angel appears to him and begs him to repent, reconsider, because there's still time, you see. But he ignores the angel, and the angel pleads with him for the whole hour, almost, right up until like the very last minute. Well, the last few seconds, really. And is unrepentant up until the moment that the devil appears to drag him to hell. But it's too late. The clock is striking 12, and whilst the clock is striking 12, he is begging the angel, please, no, take me, help me, save me. And the angel's like, I'm sorry, buddy. You know, you've made this bed, and now you need to lie in it. I did warn you. And that's where the phrase the 11th hour comes from. DC, obviously, I think this was written in like the 19th century, possibly even the 18th century. I know it as a play, but it might have been a book first. I studied it in high school drama. DC obviously took inspiration from this story for Felix Faust. He is from like the 14th century in the DC universe. Sold his soul, and for the ability to manipulate life. I think he wanted the ability to create life, but wasn't able to gain that, and has been searching for the ability since. So what we're about to do here at Faust's behest, collect shards of black diamond to free Eclipso, leads into the story where, on the hero side, where the Spectre is going nuts and summoning up his humanity has been stripped away, so he can no longer accurately judge humanity. So he summons spirits of vengeance and justice to judge humanity on his behalf. They don't do a very good job of it, and the Sentinels of Magic and the heroes return the Spectre's humanity to him and capture Eclipso, or defeat Eclipso, and then the Spectre takes him away for judgment, I think, or maybe he escapes. I'm not clear. Anyway, that's the penultimate mission that you get in the leveling up process as a hero. So that's the mission you get right before you have your background specific exclusive mission. This is the second mission I've gotten after doing the second of the three background exclusive missions. So this happens canonically way earlier, and there presumably will be a gap there where Eclipso is going around doing his evil thing and preparing to separate the Spectre from his humanity. Magents serve Faust.
I sense the dark power within you. When Eclipso's heart of darkness shattered, many objects were fused with dark power from the shards. Bring them to me before the Sentinels of Magic destroy them.
Yeah, this won't go poorly for the
goddess Circe
the world.
The master of shadows, Eclipso, is held captive and powerless by the Sentinels of Magic. They fail to limit what magic should be. Huh. For now, defeat their sad little purifying rituals against the darkness, and collect the shards of the Black Diamond, casting the city into shadow.
Pretty sure that the Sentinels of Magic just want to make sure that magic doesn't end up destroying the world, or get used by despots and tyrants to oppress people. Now, maybe...
In alchemy, the crescent represents silver.
Maybe Circe... Oh, well, it makes sense if Circe believes that... magic is supposed to be about forcing people into subjugation. I mean, that fits with her, to be honest. quite a big shard, isn't it? I wonder how big this diamond is supposed to be when it's finished. That's a huge shard, isn't it? I wonder how it's supposed to fit together. You would expect shards of a... Well, I mean, maybe it's figurative. But you would expect pieces of a whole to tessellate, but these don't seem like they do. Like, they are kind of vaguely tear-shaped and flat, but beveled-edged. Beveled-edged. The edges are beveled. I was checking my combos to see whether I was wrong about how to do that combo, but I wasn't. I just sometimes don't hit it correctly, apparently, which is a shame.
You must not reunite the shards!
I mean, I would like to do it as the Sentinels suggest and help stop this from happening, but I am constrained by the morality I'm stuck with. Yeah. I would like to as a player, I would like to do good in this situation, because that's who I am, but unfortunately I am not able. The game doesn't give you any choice in the matter. Need one more of those. Gloomy down there, isn't it? Under the series of overpasses like this. Can't say I think much of the city planning has gone into this at all. A nice look.
Careful with those black diamonds. I know, Faust gave you a ward, but those things pretty much corrupt everyone they touch. Just saying.
So what mission was I supposed? What was I supposed to find? Eclipso infused urn, infused crystal, infused phylactery. Where the heck are those? Just are they hanging out on the ground, dotted around, or are they?
Focus all my energy on the purification. The ritual. We can't let
Are they
Eclipso's
being
power spread.
held by someone. What's this above me? There's an object on my mini-map. Aha! Ooh, these guys have different coloured uniforms. She's red and gold, and that guy was green and gold, as opposed to blue and gold, or they're white dots on the mini-map. Okay. Here's the urn, so the last one will be the phylactery. Oh, hello. So, other Sentinels of Magic are either dark navy, like almost midnight blue and gold, or white and pale blue, like, yeah, very pale blue. But these two who have appeared when I've done this are dressed in red and gold, or green and gold. Okay, cool.
Careful with those black diamonds. I know, Faust gave you a ward, but those things pretty much corrupt everyone they touch. Just saying.
What do I have now? Star pistol. I think I've got a bunch of pistol appearances for weapons, but I don't know which ones I've got unlocked. Those look pretty cool. Frozen pistols don't really. Hive pistols also look kind of cool. I wish I could zoom this out so that I could get a better look. Unfortunately, it's not possible. Particle beam SMGs, plasma pistols, star pistols. Sacred, simple spellbound shooters, tech revolvers. I think these look quite cool. But I also think the energy blasters look quite cool as well. Maybe I should swap the colours around though.
Sweet sound of a broken heart. The heart of darkness reaches out to corrupt humans into shadow men under Eclipso's power. The Sentinels cling to their little relics in the hope of cleansing the area. But don't let that stand in our way.
Clearly, the implication is that it could stand in their way, if not for the intervention of this remarkably competent villain that I'm playing as. Rather than help, I am furthering the... She's in a sort of uniform there. Has her outfit changed to black and purple? What am I supposed to do here? Pick this up and take it over there. Okay.
I warn you.
For fuck's sake. Stop distracting me by shooting me. Shit. Now, let's pick up this side mission before I do anything else, so that I know that I...
The larger the shard, the more power the Shadow Men possess. Use this to create greater Shadow Men possessed of enormous power.
Okay, makes sense.
The gibbous moon's convex shape results in dust that is rife with magical energy.
They're talking presumably about alchemy, because the first thing was about a crescent represents silver, which I think is basically an alchemical sign. I'm not super big on alchemy. I'm not an expert by any means. I could recognize an alchemical symbol, but not necessarily what it meant if I saw one. But I could guess in a couple of cases. Did I just put that down upside down? Clearly do not care about... She's, I didn't get a very good look there. Got a mask on?
Shards must be contained.
Oops. But yeah, so I'm thinking that the investigation that we've got at the moment is... Oh, hey, here's one walking around. It's an interesting costume. Is it half her face, or just part of her face? Kind of a Phantom of the Opera style division. Ooh, she's gotten bigger. Yeah, so the investigation this time is probably going to be about alchemy. But interestingly, I do know a bit about the history, or the specifically about silver and alchemy. Silver was thought to represent purity. I'm not quite sure why, because it tarnishes so quickly. Probably because people in antiquity thought that because it tarnishes, it's like drawing impurities to itself to purify other things. Maybe. But so people associated silver with purity, and why did they put 2 down if you never have enough time to get both? And since the moon is associated with purity, it was believed that was why the full moon revealed the curse of lycanthropy in werewolves. Or rather, that was why werewolves transformed under the full moon, because the full moon was the moon at its highest, at its greatest strength in purification, and was trying to purify the curse out of people. Or at least that's one belief associated with lycanthropy. Probably isn't how it started. I don't know how it started. I have no idea. I don't have that insight. Probably because it's no longer recorded anywhere. Much like how I wonder who's up on top of this building. Ooh, Fate. Probably shouldn't do anything with him. He's challenge rating 46 as well. Much like how there are no longer any records of what British Druidism was like anymore. I mean, people have made efforts to reconstruct the belief system, but those were primarily attempted during the end of the 19th century by Victorians, who really had more of a tendency to assume that they were right rather than try and be right, resulting in a lot of people more recently saying, that probably isn't what Druidism looked like, and you seem to have been making things up for your own benefit there. Why is there a Star Labs level 82 sentry just hanging out here? Is he going to kill me? I would prefer it if he didn't. Why you never see any cars on top of these? Anyway, so a part of the issue, because I was researching this because I'm curious about Druidism. Part of the issue. Hey, welcome, Spider Sniper 102. I'm just flying around, being a villain, and talking about, well, a string of things that are related to one another, and I've wandered a bit from where I started.
How have you been? All right, I'll cut the chumminess. I know we don't have much history together, but together we could make history.
The Sentinels of Magic are supposed to prevent you from doing things like that. Maybe they need to go back to Good Witch School.
Yeah, not particularly interested in just doing the Constantine mission over again. I've already done it once, and I don't think that it'll be different between hero and villain side. I don't want to do Constantine's thing. This is what I want to do.
The Shadow Men are drawn to Eclipso's prison like moths to a flame. But like moths, they are in danger of being burned. The Sentinels are trapping them in light cages to block the darkness. Free the Shadow Men and help them enter Eclipso's prison until Shadow outbalances the light.
That's going fine. So, like, are you a spider who snipes? Or do you snipe spiders? 'Cause I'm curious. I suppose it would be sniper spider if it were a spider that snipes. So you snipe spiders, presumably. And there have been 102 of them of your name before you. Do you defeat the previous ones in Mortal Kombat, or like is it a hereditary thing? Are we talking about multiple generations of people who snipe spiders, going back? Well, how long is a generation? It's about 30 years, isn't it? So 102, like 3,000 years of spider sniping. Which, I mean, you could argue we had bows 3,000 years ago, and even if we didn't, we had slingshots, which are perfectly acceptable as marksman weapon. Anyway, let's see what this infused Dark Walker wants.
Eclipso has infused us all with his dark power. Let us show the Sentinels of Magic that they too have a dark side. Eclipse their powerful guardians into shadow men.
I don't think the Sentinels of Magic are making the claim that they don't have a dark side, just that they are masters of their own morality and have made a moral choice that doesn't happen to match up with yours. I don't really know how making a moral choice that differs from you is worthy of scorn.
I am born to darkness.
Like, oh, these people are behaving morally good, so they, as opposed to me, who has chosen to behave morally badly. I think that I'm better than them. Like the whole miasma of villains believing that they're morally superior because they give in to their negative moral impulses is such bullshit.
Silver powdered under the new rune has restorative power.
Yeah, I mean that lines up with alchemy and with what I was saying before about silver being believed to be purifying. I mean, it probably doesn't literally powdered silver, silver powdered under the full moon, infused with power from the full moon. Probably it isn't curing an illness so much as purifying it out of someone. So it's not like it's fighting an illness in the same way that we do with modern medicine. It's more like it's just removing the illness entirely and pitching it away, I guess. Why am I so unable to manage that combo in combat? It's kind of annoying. I don't understand. Anyway, so I had been talking a little bit about druidism, which is tangentially related to alchemy. There's also just something I feel like talking about, so I'm going to. The thing about druidism is that nobody really anymore knows what it was about, what the tenets of the belief system were, because it was purely oral. It was transmitted entirely orally, so there weren't any written records. The only people that have records on druids are their opponents, the Romans, particularly Julius Caesar, who was part of the invading force, who faced druids, and so there has been some argument that the things that he wrote about might have just been Roman propaganda to encourage Romans to support the war against on the invasion into Britain at the time. But there are two sides to this as well. Like the idea of druids as they're presented in Caesar's writing plays into the standard Roman form of propaganda at the time, which was to present their enemies as savages and therefore requiring Roman intervention to uplift them, but also showing them with some redeemable features, like having some nobility in them. So the idea of a druid who is a wise man but also a savage fits this shape very, very well. So there are some people who are like, well, it's entirely possible, and it fits if it fits the form if Caesar's writings about druids are just Roman propaganda to stir up support for the invasion of Britain. On the other hand, the other side of this is that Caesar was submitting these reports. They're not like private diary entries. They're submitted reports that Caesar sent to the Senate, and which were publicly available, or at least, broadly sort of publicly available in the way that would be understood in ancient Rome. Like, if you were a slave or a serf, you couldn't just wander in and read the records, assuming you were illiterate at all. But to the strata of Roman society who counted when it came to votes, these reports would have been available. So there is a valid point that if Caesar was just making it up entirely, everyone else who was in Britain with Caesar at the time that he was invading probably would have raised a point, like saying, Caesar's full of it. He's making it up. He's fabricated this. You'd think that his opponents would probably point something like that out, but they don't.
Us all. You will not return Eclipso to power.
So it's unclear whether how much that Roman authors, contemporaries of the Druids wrote is true, and how much is bollocks and propaganda. The problem is that that I have with it is that Romans really liked adding stuff to their cultural canon. They copied lots and lots of other cultures' ideas into their own and adopt it to strengthen themselves, like that, strengthen their own cultural canon, and it's why most Roman gods have almost perfect direct one-to-one equivalents in Greek gods, because the Romans took over. The Romans invaded Greece and took all of their culture, like all of the Greeks' best ideas, basically. So they really liked adding elements of the cultures that they conquered to themselves, and adding adding, foreigners to themselves. Like, they amalgamated a lot of different cultures as they were growing. So the fact that they wiped out Druidism is strange. I mean, the implication, for me at least, is that there was something in Druidism and the religion related to it that was antithetical to Romans, that they absolutely abhorred and didn't want to try and include. I mean, they included so many different things, particularly, well, first with their first pantheon of like Jupiter and Mars and Venus and all those gods, Mercury. And then when Christianity came in, they included a lot of paganistic beliefs, and like realigned when Jesus was born to line up with a pagan religious holiday in the winter solstice, and like they reshaped a lot of their belief systems to incorporate new pieces of different culture. So the fact that they went after Druids to the extent that they did, and obliterated all record of what they studied, what they believed, is kind of unusual for Romans. And it's quite interesting. It leads me to suspect. I mean, I'm no expert on Romans at all. I have not studied them to degree level. I've barely studied them at all. Like, I've done Wikipedia research, basically. We've got the Cliff's Notes of Romans. But my suspicion is that the Druidic system involved something that was, antithetical and abhorrent to Romans of the time. So, maybe the Druids were super into matriarchy. I mean, a big part of the reason that we continue to...
I am born to darkness.
Study Greeks and Romans. I mean, well, so they did form a pretty major basis for all the things that came later in Europe, culturally, in terms of linguistically, but also they were super patriarchal, and teaching kids in primary schools about patriarchal systems helps to propagate the patriarchy. It's probably not like a malicious, deliberate thing. It's just something that hasn't gone away yet.
Balance tipped from light to evil. Check. Head on into the Sentinel's magical prison. Hope you can see in the dark.
Interesting. Haven't been here before.
Inside this hidden base is Eclipso's prison. The Shadowmen will endure the Sentinel's light as long as they can. So do not hesitate to summon more to your side. Once Eclipso is free, guard him well. And let him know who he owes body and soul for his rescue.
Electron. That's just Electron, but missing the T. That's not a brand name. It's a typo. So I don't know enough about Romans and about Druids to be able to say with any confidence what I'm thinking is correct, or to make any better guesses, to be honest. But yeah, my suspicion is... I'm surprised they haven't despawned while reaching the exit like this. I wonder if it's a feat to get everyone. Or if that was entirely unnecessary behaviour just then. Or it might be a feat to keep all of the...
this place. We caged Eclipso. We will cage you as well.
Maybe it's a feat to keep all the Shadow Men alive. Crystal does. Oh, right. Ice, of course. Belt. Oh, nice. Twitch app has told me that it's reconnected to my chat room, so if anyone was talking to me in the last, I don't know, 20 minutes and I seemed to be ignoring you, I apologise. It's because my Twitch app is shit and I didn't see you. Ooh, been transported to a different place here.
The flames of magic will purify you. Eclipso is evil. Leave him be.
Oh yeah, earlier I was complaining about villains who believe... Oh no, the Shadow Men despawn. They're here for long enough. You obviously won't have a feat for keeping them all alive, like the clowns in the Hotel Royale mission. Is it Royale Hotel? Hotel Royale? I don't remember.
Created under the full moon, this dust is ideal for rituals of protection.
Villains. That's what I was talking about. Villains who believe they are morally superior to heroes because they give in to their negative impulses. Believing that everyone is secretly as bad as them, but that the people in society are keeping their negative impulses at bay to appease everyone else in society, which seems self-defeating, because it is. We behave like we do in society.
What have you done? Those books collect the magic of millennia. Just a little accident. Oops. Have a look around and see if anything else needs to go up in flames.
So you'll sometimes get villains who mock the heroes for not giving in to their base desires and not committing evil, and who believe, the villains believe themselves to be morally superior because they do give in and do use they use force to gain what they want, and they believe that everyone in society is really just wearing a mask and being false about it, about their true intentions. But the thing about society is that we behave the way that we do in society, as in we cooperate with one another and don't just forcefully take everything that we want, because... Well, for a number of reasons. One of them being we don't want other people to take our stuff, so we don't take other people's stuff. We don't want to have force directed against us, so we don't engage in force against other people. Humans work best when we cooperate. Anybody who claims that they achieved everything that they did alone is lying, either deliberately or because they're ignorant. You have everything that you do because other people have built systems that help you. You've learnt how to talk, how to read, how to write, because of public systems and you've been helped in those systems by other people to learn the things that you know. You use public roads, you use public resources in the form of water and power. Your house was probably built as part of a public system. And if it wasn't, it was built on land that was publicly owned that you had to buy. And like, the way that you earn money is, yeah, you work in whatever environment that is, but people who earn huge amounts of money do so because other people work for them. Like, it's not even a case of nobody gets as rich as Jeff Bezos on their own, because they don't. But you don't get as rich as fucking, I don't know, some guy down the street who lives in a detached house and has 2 cars. You don't get as rich as property owners who own several blocks of flats and go abroad multiple times a year in times when COVID isn't active, in pre-COVID times. You don't achieve that on your own.
Eclipso is evil. Leave him. If you wake Eclipso, the world will freeze.
You only manage it with other people's help, whether that's because you force them to help through unjust laws, or otherwise.
Dust created under the waning moon is ideal for banishment and restraint spells.
So, villains who claim, well, first of all, villains who think that they've got all their power themselves are full of it. Villains who believe that they are morally superior because they give in to their base desires are full of it. and I have no patience for them.
Oh, those tones on the lake are old.
I do like the verdigris effect on here. It's like it's bronze and it's got verdigris rust down in the mystic sigils that are carved into it. I think about it, this is a little, well no it's not actually, really. I was just thinking this is a bit like the lobby scene, not the lobby scene, the yeah, well, hotel lobby scene in Matrix Reloaded, or Matrix, one of the later Matrix films, but more spacious. I was thinking, but then I was like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a lobby with two staircases that go up and around the edge of the room. Maybe that's all that is. Yeah, reconnecting to chat. Great. Cool. Thanks. Fucking just connect to the Wi-Fi, stay connected to the Wi-Fi, and fucking let me see incoming chat messages. You piece of shit. Chest. Splendid.
The waxing room amplifies constructive and positive magics.
So I'm expecting there to be a fight in here of some kind.
Curse you all!
I wonder who I fight. Probably isn't going to be him.
Free, free! The world will descend into darkness, and I will once again be free to unleash my dark wrath upon you all!
Eclipso, I am Zatanna, and the forces of light stand against you! No matter who your allies are, you're getting back in that cage!
You think you are
I
of the
love a
light,
good audience.
Zatanna? Even you have a dark side!
Arise the demon Etrigan!
Yeah, it's not just Zatanna. We also get, she calls on the help of Etrigan.
Who calls the demon from hellish fires? I'll burn you all on flaming pyres. It is true, I come for you.
Curious about what power set you use, actually. Curious about what power set both of them use, in fact. So that... Okay, he's using... it looks like fire and brawling. I mean, his weapon set is brawling. Don't know about his power set. I mean, he used fire, but that could just be a single attack. don't know that it's necessarily... that his power set is fire. It might have been a feat to complete this without calling all of these dudes. I'm trying to work out, she's probably, yeah, Zatanna is hand blast and probably lightning, when I'm being struck by lightning. These could just be unique single powers.
So gonna make you pay for that.
Powers Didn't really get to see, unfortunately.
Zatanna, silence is golden. Someday my magic will silence you forever. But not now. Now I have my freedom, and eternal darkness awaits.
How does Eclipso know about Zatanna?
I am Etrigan, Lord of Hell. In those deathless fires do I dwell. Unless someone brave or simply dumb summons me, and then I come. I can take the form of man, but I much prefer being Etrigan. For Etrigan cares not for good or evil. He does what he would. And now Etrigan is unleashed on Earth. You fear Brainiac? I am worse.
I think that's usually how that goes. So yeah, I was wondering how Eclipso knows about Zatanna. I mean, I don't know how long Zatanna has been active as a hero, or how long Eclipso was imprisoned here for. But to know that silencing Zatanna is her weakness requires even more of someone than just knowing that Zatanna is out there. It requires probably fighting her before, or talking to someone who has. And if Eclipso has been imprisoned here for longer than Zatanna has been active as a hero, and none of the Sentinels of Magic around him, guarding him, have talked about her, I'm not really sure how he could have learned anything about Zatanna, really.
The Sentinels have yet to understand that for there to be light, there must be shadow. And now, the power of the shadow is in our debt. Your goddess thanks you.
Yeah, the thing about the world and life and everything is that it's already got that duality, and in order for things to be slightly better, it's perfectly fine if the light side, good side, is more active. Like, it doesn't matter how long heroes fight trying to improve things, there will always be some negative aspects, regardless of whether there are villains in opposition to heroes or not. Reverent rituals. I must thank you for gathering these silver ritual materials. They are truly a fitting accolade for a goddess. Now, with Eclipso free, the powers of darkness are at my command. Curious about what Greco-Roman looks like on male body. Wonder whether even the helmet is the same. Oh, it is. Okay. They are quite a lot, aren't they, those shoulders? And they don't really speak to me of being Greco-Roman at all. Ah, okay, yeah, this is totally different from the chest piece that women get for Greco-Roman, as are the hand pieces. I mean, these are really a pair of cestus or cesti. What's the betting this is going to be? Some kind of kilt. Yeah, there we go. Do quite like this style. Sort of armoured kilt and smart shoes. Yeah, it's quite a look. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, barring maybe the armoured kilt and the chest plate, the cuirass, I don't think this is a style of clothing that Romans or Greeks wore. Particularly not the massive spiked pauldrons. Anyway.
So now Eclipso joins the dance. Circe's power grows if she can keep Eclipso under her control. We will see. Once the flame of life is mine, perhaps our moment will come.
I wouldn't hold your breath, Faust. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Oh, this is interesting. Heard of the Sinestro Corps? You know, the anti-Green Lantern Corps with rings powered by fear. They're looking for some serious backup. If you're ready to join the intergalactic big leagues, meet the recruiter in the downtown safe house.
Right, yes. This is the Lantern War story arc. You take...
Check it out. I'm sure you'll see something you like.
You encounter this on the hero side. Of course, on the hero side, you're helping the Green Lanterns. But this acts as an introduction to the later introduced Lantern War like expansion experience.
Ordinarily, we'd never need one of you human bugs. But the Green Lantern Corps has figured out a way to mess up our rings. We're gonna beat that secret out of them. You in or out? Or are you afraid?
This is Lex Luthor. Helping the Sinestro Corps? How ambitious of you. I admire that, so long as it doesn't get in my way. My data shows that a powerful interference pulse somewhere in Metropolis is altering the Sinestro and Green Lantern Corps rings. But if Sinestro wants to blame the Green Lanterns, then take the opportunity to help him wipe these intergalactic cops off our planet.
Yeah, you find during the hero side version of this that, well, the heroes assert that it's not the Green Lanterns doing this, and I'm inclined to believe them. They don't have a reason to lie. And the yellow lanterns are just sort of overreacting or reacting emotionally rather than rationally and logically. And being kind of silly about it, refusing to listen to reason. It's not surprising, I suppose, given what they... is this the building? Or is it over here? No, it's over here, isn't it? There's a couple of buildings I want to get to the top of, because you get a feat. This Brainiac bottled building that you can see that I'm heading towards is the Daily Planet. As I've mentioned before, if you fly to the top of it, you get a feat for getting to the top of the Daily Planet building, and you also get a feat for getting to the top of LexCorp building, Lex Luthor's building, which is this one here. Oh, that was enough for me to level up. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Where's my mission giver? Oh, there he is. Trainer Cool. What a creative name.
Think you know what fear means? Then you can show some of our new members how it's done. That powering up on the rooftops. Beat a little terror into them.
The only rooftop that these guys hang out on. It's annoying. Still, I only need 2 of them.
Behold, Earth Dweller, one construct in my command.
Someone would leave 2 barrels full of explosive fuel on top of the roof like this.
Stand aside! By Sinestro's might! Third time's the charm.
So, other than helping those 2, I need to defeat Green Lantern peacekeepers and rescue and protect Sinestro Corps forces. Which are these dudes? Probably manage several at a time.
Even with the screwy ring.
I'd prefer to take them all on myself. But if you insist...
Say, I'm not enjoying dual pistol as much as I used to, I think. I may not use dual pistol as a weapon again. So it's a little bit awkward. I wonder where his attackers are. Usually they spawn in fairly quickly. But not this time. Odd. He's just chilling out here. Should probably pick this up actually.
Manhunter Bounty, Green Lantern Corps.
Even with the screwy ring.
And were destroyed on site.
So the Green Lantern rings create hard light constructs based on the user's willpower. Break their will, and Zappo, no more construct. The throwdown continues closer to City Hall. Updating your map.
Interesting how Sinestro refuses to negotiate with the Green Lanterns to find the cause of these ring malfunctions. That takes a special kind of hate. He's determined to destroy the Green Lanterns and their power rings. See if you can help him out.
Archilo Manhunter Bounty, dangerous criminal of the antimatter universe and confidant of the criminal Sinestro, wanted dead or alive.
Sinestro hates the Green Lanterns because they stopped him. The Green Lanterns stopped him and stripped away his power. Hey, welcome, dudes. Raven Force and Darkstar, 57th of his name. Two things. Sinestro hates the Green Lanterns because they stripped his power. The Green Lanterns stripped Sinestro's power because he was using it as a tyrant and being a massive dickhead. From the audio files that you get when you complete or go through this investigation, it implies that the Manhunters are against both the Yellow and Green Lantern Corps, which is a bit odd because usually they're a tool used by the Yellow Lanterns.
You have been observed to function adequately in terminating Green Lanterns. You are directed to incapacitate Green Lanterns and secure targeting beacons upon their bodies. Suggest you move away from targeting the Green Lantern during this process to avoid injury. Do you comply?
Like, all of the audio lines are basically intergalactic crime files, crime dossiers about the people that they're about their subjects. Like, the one that we just picked up then was about Archilo, who is a known confidant of Sinestro, who is a wanted criminal. Like, are they just noting the fact that Sinestro is a wanted criminal is a criminal wanted by the Green Lantern Corps, or from the perspective of the the Manhunters, is, or rather, from the perspective of the Manhunters, are some of the Yellow Lanterns also wanted criminals somehow? It's a bit unclear. Or at least it's confusing to me.
We haven't touched your ring, Sinestro Corps. Whatever's happening, it's happening to all of us.
How did Sinestro get a fear ring? He went to Quad, which is in the antimatter universe, and got one from a weaponeer of Quad. I think is usually how it goes. In the Yellow Lantern film, Green Lantern film, I should say, with oh, Jesus, what's his name? He plays Deadpool now. I don't remember his name. Anyway. No, Sinestro did not... Ryan Reynolds, thank you, Ravenforce. That's the one. Sinestro did not manage to manifest a yellow ring through his own power of fear. Usually what it is he manages to make his way to Quad, which is in the antimatter universe, and gets a yellow ring from the weaponeers of Quad. In the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern film, it was a tool developed by the Owens. Supposed to be a more powerful power ring, but too dangerous to use because it plays on and encourages the user's fears and makes them unstable. But right at the end, like maybe even in the credit scenes, Sinestro convinces or I think during the film, Sinestro is trying to convince the Owen controllers to let him use the yellow ring to combat the big problem that's happening, which I forget what it is, to be honest, in the film. The film was a bit... It was trying to be an origin story and also like some kind of disaster flick, and it wasn't very good at either, unfortunately. So in the Green Lantern film, it was great at being a disaster flick. Yeah, I don't think that being a disaster as a film makes it a good disaster film. Even Ryan Reynolds makes fun of it. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is great.
I'm scanning the Sinestro Corps and Green Lantern energy signatures, and the same frequency seems to be affecting them both. It's blocking access to their usual power sources, but I can't get a lock on what it is.
Spoilers, it's black power rings.
Now, this is intriguing. The Green Lanterns have created constructs to trap yellow fear rings and prevent the Sinestro Corps from accessing their powers. Free the rings and prevent the Green Lanterns from gaining the edge.
That's not to say that black power rings celebrate African or African American power. It's not got anything to do with black culture in that way. Black power rings in DC draw their power from death and are literally like obsidian colored. and they're quite bad news because they resurrect anybody that has died, and they particularly have an easy time of taking over and mind controlling anybody who has died and has since been brought back. Which, if you know anything about superhero comics, you'll know that has happened quite a lot.
You have been observed to function adequately in terminating Green Lanterns. You are directed to acquire
Ring status
a
report.
device
Green Lantern 804 deceased. Space sector scanned 804 initiated for replacement.
Return to me and relinquish the device into my custody. Do you comply?
I fucking wish that Ring hadn't just started talking over this Manhunter whilst I was trying to listen to him.
You have been observed to function adequately in terminating Green Lanterns. You are directed to acquire a power siphoning device from a nearby defeated Manhunter and use the device to capture Green Lantern power rings. Once rings have been captured, return to me and relinquish the device into my custody. Do you comply?
Sure.
Ring status report. Green Lantern 1512. Ring status report. Green Lantern.
I'm sure I'm supposed to be putting these Green Lantern rings in boxes. Where's the thing I'm supposed to pick up?
Ring status report.
He told me to pick up a thing, but the game's not directing me to where the thing that I need to pick up is. It's irritating. Because when you're doing this as a hero, one of the things you need to do is, after you've defeated yellow lanterns rather, is to put the yellow rings into a kind of containment bubble. So that they can't get out and get used, find a new host and or user, and find another recruit and a replacement for the yellow lanterns.
Hello, Manhunter by me, last survivor of the planet Bolovax Vic, wanted dead or alive on accounts of aiding and abetting the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, this is what I need to pick up. It's the same piece that I would pick up if I were on the hero side. Now I can capture rings. Okay.
Ring status report. Green Lantern 15. Ring status report. Green Lantern 8. Status report. Green Lantern 1. Ring status report. Green Lantern 1. Status report. Green Lantern.
One thing I'm not fond of about flight in this game is how difficult to be precise about controlling your character. like, if you're not very careful, you'll drift over your objective and you won't be able to interact with it because you are facing the wrong way or you're slightly too far away.
Keep the Sinestro core away from our rings! Keep those constructs up! We have to keep those yellow rings safe!
Fuck off, will you?
Ring status report. Green Lantern 1066. Ring status report for replacement. Green Lantern 1512. Ring status report.
Take the lantern's ring
Deceased.
to our prison
Space sector
generation.
scan 1066. Initiated for replacement.
Fear the power of Sinestro's light.
Ring status report. Green Lantern 1512. Space sector scan 1512. Initiated for replacement. Ring status report. Green Lantern.
Oh right, free capture power rings. Fuck's sake. I wish the game would display all current objectives, not just some of them. The fact that it's not just destroy everything and sow chaos everywhere, even though that's what you end up doing. There's a story behind it. Yeah. It kind of, yeah, it shows that the villains have a plan. They're not just kind of chaotic evil.
Status report. Status report.
Yeah, I don't like going around deliberately doing evil at the behest of these egotists. But I definitely don't want to fight Kilowog. He's going to be way beyond me. But yeah, it's interesting seeing things from this side, this perspective. I'm playing villain side. I am a joke android, but I am a villain. Captain Patriot. Welcome, by the way. I'm playing through the villain side to see how it differs from the hero side. As I said, not really enjoying playing as a villain because I don't like doing evil. But it is interesting finding out what the other side is like. And where it meets up and where it doesn't. With
Sinestro Corps member 5.
The hero side that I'm much more familiar with.
Hold the phone. My monitor's just lit up like New Year's. I'm seeing an enormous green energy signature at City Hall. The Green Lanterns must be creating some kind of power regulator for their rings. Shut that down, and this war is over.
They call the Green Lantern rings the most powerful weapon in the universe. But let's cut through the hype. If they've succeeded in creating a green power regulator, stands to reason that destroying it will give you the edge, and Sinestro the victory.
So we go into the same location. This is where you come as a hero. I suppose Captain, he's been corrupted. Only Hera can save us now. Yeah, Raven Force likes playing things up like that. I wouldn't say that I have been corrupted. I mean, I'm just curious about what the story is like. As I've said, I don't enjoy being a villain. Yeah, nice to see you too, dude. Ordinarily, I don't choose villain sides. Like, this is the first time I've played a villain to this level. I did once create I think it was Magic Villain, and started doing the first mission and hated it because I needed to kill Sentinels of Magic, I think, and stopped and deleted the character. But the stated aim of this stream is to look at as much story as I can in a game. I am reserving the right to stop if I object morally to what's going on, but I haven't felt quite like the tipping point has been reached. Yeah, it is super interesting, Raven Force. It's interesting to see. I mean, so up until the second of the 3 background-only missions, everything matched more or less one-to-one with the hero side. So you would do missions villain side that take place in exactly the same area as the hero side. After that point, there were a couple of missions that are completely different. Now we're back to matching up with the hero side again to do the Green Lantern stuff, and I'm curious to see what I will be doing after this, because I'm almost finished with the Lantern War mission, and I'm also curious to see how this would be different. Like, ordinarily there would be a Green Lantern recruit here, almost dead, and a Yellow Lantern construct here with pulsing yellow energy, or maybe here. Maybe this is exactly in the same place, but he's not like. He's not been disabled by a Green Lantern pulsing construct thing over here. And we'll find out what his deal is.
Some of the lanterns have taken it upon themselves to protect the miserable inhabitants of this mud ball. If you come across any of these pathetic dupes, teach them the truth of terror and let them bask in the futility of their sacrifice.
I am one of the inhabitants of this mud ball. Thank you.
Hold the shield!
Well, aren't you an eager little earthling? If my ring weren't acting up, I'd love to explore your fears. But for now, you can help us take out the Alpha Lantern standing between us and the Green Lantern's power construct. Bring down the shield! To the attack!
So magnanimous of you. So once again, I'm assuming that you come in here before the heroes arrive and mess things up, and then the heroes, when they arrive, undo all of that. Dang. We destroyed a shield that the Alpha Lantern was projecting to protect people and kill him. That sucks.
Manhunter bounty, Yellow Lanterns. Heralds of
My strength fails me.
Leaders of the power
Take out the
that
Green
concentrate
Lanterns.
fear. Destroy or apprehend on sight.
We will destroy your construct.
I'm too weak to finish this battle. Show the Green Lantern the power.
Bit of a big force field, kind of unnecessarily large. I would say. Why would an alien Green Lantern have the cultural knowledge to create a pair of boxing gloves as constructs? Like, maybe
I can't go on. You must destroy
the only
Green Lantern.
conclusion I can come to is that he must have seen one of the human Green Lanterns on Oa use it whilst they were training, used the idea and copied it, because he respects and admires the Green Lanterns, I guess.
Young student,
The human
man
ones.
under bounty, aptitude for technology, and able to create elaborate-like constructs. Wanted dead or alive on counts of aiding and abetting the Green Lantern Corps.
Too weak to finish this battle. Show the Green Lanterns the power of
Mercy from the masters of fear!
Beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Yeah, don't like that. Do not enjoy that. Now this is interesting and a bit awkward. You come here as a hero and you take the Green Lantern side. So this can't be happening before. This is supposed to be happening concurrently with the hero side experience, because Green Lantern Jordan is here and presumably you take him down alongside the Yellow Lanterns. And because of the things that happen afterwards, the fact that John Stewart is still fine and free, kind of indicates to me that what's just about to happen here cannot be canon with the villains winning, because otherwise the things that happen afterwards would be different if they did. So this sequence here has to be non-canonical. I don't know why they put it in, if that's the case.
I see through your protests. You fear Sinestro's power. You fear what's right. But you cannot stop the Sinestro Corps, and you will pay for this attempt to limit our power.
You're crazy if you think the ring malfunctions have anything to do with us, Sinestro. But then, reason was never your strong point. You want to fight, you got one.
Yeah, that's exactly the same cutscene as you get if you're playing hero side. Do you wonder what cutscene we'll get once we defeat all of the greenies? At the end of this.
Let's see how you handle this.
Be afraid. Cower before your own defeat. Your fear only makes us stronger.
Don't need to let evil escape my sight. It's right here in front of you.
Nice to see the Yellow Lanterns helping out in this difficult fight. They're just standing there.
Beware of
two of them are anyway. Some of them are helping. Nice. Be a fairly bad time for Jon Stewart, though.
I sense fear in this room. Lovely.
It doesn't take a power ring to see that you're the one who's afraid, Sinestro.
Ah, I see you are capable of inspiring great fear. Intriguing. I will certainly remember your face. For I may have a mission here on this planet Earth that would suit you well. We will speak again when the time is right.
You're just lucky our rings are as messed up as yours, Sinestro. You'll never bring down the Green Lantern Corps.
I suggest you leave now. Our rings are nearly depleted and my construct encasement may not hold Jon Stewart much longer. Until we meet again.
Cutscene will we get? Ooh, a different one.
The power ring of a Green Lantern. The most powerful weapon in the universe. It creates hard light constructs out of sheer willpower. The only way to break it is to shatter our will. Sinestro uses fear, a coward's weapon. So whoever messes with us, listen up. The name is Jon Stewart, and all who worship evil's might, beware our power. Green Lantern's light.
Don't know who the robot on the left with the blue beams, or the lady on the right in red with the yellow beams is. I'm not familiar with either of them.
Sinestro Manhunter Bounty, former member of the Green Lantern Corps, now ruthless head of the Yellow Lanterns. Wanted dead or alive for counts too numerous to display.
Yeah, see that wanted dead or alive for counts too numerous to display is super weird for a Manhunter to be saying, because Manhunters generally, I mean even in the game, are on the side of the Yellow Lanterns. But every one of their reports that we've found in these audio logs, these investigations, has presented both Yellow and Green Lanterns like criminals. So it's super confusing. Really not sure how they're supposed to be understood to function.
After that light show, I'm betting the Green Lanterns have learned there's more to fear in Metropolis than just Sinestro. And that Sinestro has learned who his friends are. I'll have Calculator continue to look into those ring malfunctions. You never know when information will be useful. Luther out.
So yeah, the canonicity of that sequence of events where Jon Stewart gets captured, I think is highly in question, because if he did get captured, how did he get out? Or why is he still around? Later on, after these events, how can you still like find him and say hi? I suppose similarly, if Sinestro gets captured at the end of this sequence of events, how is he still around for the villains to meet? So I guess maybe Sinestro said he might be able to break free because his ring power is flaky. Yeah, it could be. I think probably what happens is it kind of nobody gets captured, everyone just has a scrap in the courthouse and runs out of power in their rings and like goes, neither of us can continue this fight. I'll be back, and then runs away. You haven't won yet! Kind of thing. And just splits. So what you see in either side is not actually what happens.
Check it out. I'm sure you'll see something you like.
Not bad for a human, but this campaign of war is just starting. The lanterns have to be destroyed.
Yeah, not bad for a human. What were you doing during all of that? Were you chilling out, comfortable in this, comfortable and safe in Club de Ville, drinking cocktails, having a good time? Not bad for a useless alien, I guess. You haven't heard the last of us. All of them walk calmly out the same exit, create some distance, and then continue shit talking. Yeah, it's like I can't remember what it would have been. I'm sure I've seen different versions of it, like maybe a pair of dogs barking at one another, held back by leashes or something, and then both leashes let go, and they lurch forward, and then they just kind of look around confused and back off. Like, or two dudes who are like being held back by their friends going, hold me back, and then they stop being held back and they go, yeah, and then stop and back down. I'm sure I've seen that several times in different forms. I just can't remember any specifics at the moment, but it feels very much like that's probably what happened. Now, how intriguing that the Manhunters still contain vestiges of their original programming. Now, of course, they serve a higher cause, mine. The information you gathered has been most valuable. Go with fear. Sinestro. Ah, okay, so that explains why the Manhunter, why the audio lines we were getting from the Manhunters were so weird. Is because any lines that they have about Yellow Lanterns being criminals
Check it out. I'm sure you'll see something you like.
Last vestiges of their previous programming. Got it. What's my new mission, Precious? Meet Two-Face in Burnley nightclub in Gotham. Okay. Wait, Burnley nightclub or North Burnley? I assume it's Burnley. Because that's what it says. Like, if it meant North Burnley, I'm sure it would say North Burnley. Club kits. Visit each of the classic nightclubs. Okay. That's not as amusing as donut delivery for visiting every one of the police precinct houses. But this is interesting. It's sort of 539 Club. It's definitely got a very gothic sort of cathedral or church feel to it, like the chandeliers. Well, they're not really chandeliers, but the big wrought metal lighting orbs here, and then the stained glass at the back there. This is yeah, it's very, very churchy. But then we are in Gotham, so I suppose it makes a certain amount of sense. It's interesting how in nightclubs there's actually a little bit more floor space, because in police precincts this space here would be holding cell. This section here would be inaccessible in a police station, because these would be holding cells. You wouldn't actually be able to get into them. So there's a lot of pool tables, isn't there? If not for the fact that it's basically a villain hangout area, this would be a really cool club to visit, because like it's not obnoxiously loud with the music. There's lots of stuff to do besides dick about on a dance floor. I'm not sure what this area would have been. Oh hey, Deathstroke is a contact in here. I'm not sure what this area with the mailboxes would have been in a nightclub. I mean, that's kind of just there for the convenience of players, but
Calculator sent you to me about the Wayne diamonds in Burnley?
That's the first I'm hearing of it.
You're in luck. The coin flip says I tell you how to get in.
That's nice.
These access codes will enable you to get past security if you cut me in on half the take. Non-negotiable.
How about half of half? Wouldn't that be nice? Who's Agent Perseverance? What's he got?
A contact of mine fingered you as a results-oriented individual who isn't afraid to bend some rules. There's a Wayne Enterprises storage facility not far from here. LexCorp is looking for a go-getter to enter the facility and install viral backdoors onto several of the computers inside. Think you can handle that?
Sure. For one thing, that's the first I've heard about Calculator wanting me to come and help with a diamond heist. It's also the first I've heard of being fingered by anybody, which is... I mean, take me out to dinner first, would you? Interesting building. Big Belly Burger. You know, I wondered if I'd heard that right. I didn't want to say anything. Well, I'm joking, of course. Being fingered is a very old, like a sort of 30s and 40s, maybe earlier, phrase meaning that someone's pointed the finger at you to indicate you. Like, you've been fingered used to mean someone has picked you out, pointed the finger at you to indicate you're the person that they want. Now, of course, it means inserting your fingers into someone and having a good time, hopefully. Well, if you do it well. So which one are we doing? Going to Wayne Tech storage facility to continue our mission. And so the phrase has taken on a different meaning, and now it sounds salacious when you hear someone say you've been fingered by the law enforcement or by someone. My teacher fingered me for today's presentation in front of the whole class, Mom. Yeah. It sounds super sketch. And as I said, has taken on a bit of a different meaning. So in the 30s, that sentence would mean a completely different thing from now. So basically 90 years ago, in the 1930s. I mean, not in the next 10 years, in the 30s, the 2030s, which we are rapidly drawing closer to. Oh, hold on. The Wayne Tech Storage Facility mission must be... Wait. I'm really lost. Why have I got 2 missions? Heist. Wayne Enterprises Storage Facility. Enterprises Warehouse. That's a very... Is that the same place? Do I need to get to the same place for both of those? The thing is it's very, very weird to me to get a side mission in a safe house from someone right next to the person I got my main mission from, because that doesn't happen at all in hero side stuff. Like, you might get a mission outside or next to in the same area as a main mission, but you really don't. That's the first time that's happened in the entire game, getting a side mission from someone in a safe house, in a nightclub, or in a police precinct.
You look like someone who'd like a friend on the inside of GCPD. Tell you what, one of them SCU bums round the corner has some evidence that could incriminate me. You get back that evidence and you's got a friend on the inside for life. How about it?
Is that also inside? Or is it out here somewhere? No? Map's not indicating anything happening out here. Okay. Guess it's all happening inside the Wayne Tech Storage Facility. This is a new location. I wonder if this is going to go off. Yep.
Detective, please. I got this one. Dispatch, emergency.
Definitely the yeah, there we go. Holo token inside there. So presumably I'll be able to find a way in at some point. Just... In fact, looking at the map, so right out, it looks like I need to go all the way around to get in there. I will get there eventually.
Engage! Engage! Man down!
I wonder what that noise means.
Take him out!
They need to pack in here. Why would they need a conveyor belt? That's definitely... Oh no, this is a Wayne Tech warehouse, isn't it? That makes sense. security in here for a warehouse, but then again, this is a Wayne Tech warehouse, presumably containing sensitive Wayne Tech technology, and Batman is no fool. He had to know that it would be attacked by villains at some point. It's just unfortunate for him that it was attacked by such competent villains. Or such a competent villain, I suppose.
Never get past the security door. They'll never get past the security door.
He says, and then I get past the security door.
They've overridden security. Engage! Engage!
What did I get granted? Weird. Oh, right, it's the camera. Setting up the security alert. Makes sense.
Striking out on our own, are we? And here I thought we could be such good friends. If you want to stay on my good side, you'll give those stolen diamonds to Mr. Freeze. But don't worry, we'll be stabbing him in the back soon enough.
To all in my employ, the diamond is a versatile, beautiful gem. It's the perfect focus for my freeze ray, the perfect focus for my revenge.
Catwoman's gonna show up, isn't she? Oh no, there we
Make you
go.
an equitable arrangement. I leave here with the diamonds, and you leave without a terminal case of hypothermia. Very wise of you. Who said there is no honor among thieves? I need these diamonds to power my freeze equipment at Mercy General Hospital. A matter of life and death. But not yours. Not today.
Very magnanimous of you. Something I was going to do anyway.
I don't know what Joker's plan is, but Two-Face is going to want his cut of those diamonds. So if Mr. Freeze uses them to power his freeze equipment, you better hope Two-Face's coin doesn't come up heads.
So what's in these? Oh, right. Oh, level 2 though. Right, okay. Fair enough. They might give them to me then. Oh well. So where was the mission I had to do this? Where does that take place?
Oh, buddy with Mr. Ice and Snowman now, are we? Good. Play along for a while. In fact, I do believe that GCPD is planning a big, super secret attack against Freeze at the hospital. Go bust it up. It'll keep Freeze thinking you're on his side. Besides, I know how much you enjoy beating up our boys in blue.
Alright, yeah, thanks for that cash.
of wanton thuggery. But you do make a good point about the ends justifying the means.
I wonder about how quickly a few bullets just completely destroy those vehicles.
The fun end here. The SCU has Freeze's head pinned down in jewelry stores just nearby. What say we spring the poor slobs and lure the SCU into our ambush? It's win-win!
Gold question mark.
This is Gotham Now with Vicky Vale. The Arkham Asylum for the Criminally Insane refused to comment on if the cryogenically contained villain, Mr. Freeze, managed to escape into Gotham. Mr. Freeze is said to be obsessed with curing his terminally ill wife, Nora, no matter what that means for the rest of Gotham. So if you feel a chill in the air, look out. This is Gotham Now.
Seems a bit, what's the word I'm looking for?
You've got to help.
Inconsiderate? That's not quite it. Irresponsible of Arkham Asylum to not warn people that a dangerous criminal has escaped.
Scarecrow, your offer of aid is appreciated, but not necessary.
Devious little psychopath. Springing Freeze's men? Beating on cops? After that little act, Mr. Freeze must think you're his new best friend. I had Calculator arrange a meeting for you with one of Freeze's men nearby. Play along until he lets you in the hospital. Then we'll show him what friends are really for.
Aha. Yeah, Freeze is very much of a tragic villain. He wants to cure his wife, but unfortunately he'll go to any lengths to do it, including make everyone around him way worse off. I wonder what the point of these pointy bits on the roof is. Like, architecturally, this style does have a place. It's just that place is in regions where they get extremely high levels of snowfall, where if the roof is not pointy enough, the weight of the snow piling up on it can crush the roof. So you want very, very acute angles in roofs like this, in places that will see very, very heavy snowfall. So why you would have that in Gotham and then next to big flat sections of roof is a bit mystifying. Like, why you would even include it in the design. Don't understand. Is it maybe to help channel wind? How did this person get up here? There are no doors, as far as I can tell. Maybe this triangular section hinges outwards or something. I mean, I suppose people must be able to get up here to see to the satellite dishes and the antenna and stuff. I don't know why you would choose to position dishes like this so that they're mostly occluding one another. It seems like you're wasting the choice. Like, put this one on this tower and this one on this tower if they need to be facing those ways. Very weird choice. Very weird choices on this building all around. Including, how did this man get up here?
You must be the one Mr. Freeze told us about. Nice. Freeze has deep freeze machines all over the neighborhood to drop the temperature. Keep them running and clear out the cops. I'll let Mr. Freeze know you're on it.
Mr. Freeze must be planning to freeze all of Gotham solid so he can finally live outside of his cryo suit. But why does Joker care? He's not the Grinch. He has no heart.
Oh, there. Jeez. Very confused by not being able to find that exo thing. Just then. Very confusing.
Shut that machine down for good this time. Freeze's machine reactivated.
Why would they come out here in t-shirts? This is very impressive workmanship of this machine, actually. It's causing a massive drop in temperature for something that's actually not that big for its intended function. Like, and it's... whatever it's using for its fuel must be very, very efficient as well, because it doesn't seem like it's big enough to contain all that much fuel. Volumetrically. I mean, maybe you load 2 of these canisters in, I guess. Is that it? Can I just leave this now? Do any more spawn in? I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention first time. That's probably fine. I'll leave it.
Ivy, you don't see the cold truth. Without these machines, my dearest Nora will never be free of her icy tomb. Frostbitten plants are the least of my worries.
I think I heard about a repeater setup that had that sort of arrangement for their cable arrangement. I forget where. I think I need to stay next to these, otherwise helping them doesn't count. It seems like that's what I'm doing. Because I did turn one on, or a second one, but it hasn't counted towards my total, so you actually need to stay near these. The villainous Umo Cativismo, so he's a Catman. Ooh, there's a side mission over here. Let's go and pick it up. Tormentor. Is he a minor villain? Who's Tormentor when he's at home? He's got a... looks like a very uncomfortable face. Oh no, it's stitched. Okay. Is he a scarecrow minion?
Hey, you're in tight with Freeze, right? The Scarecrow back at Arkham wants a favor. Some of these cops here were nuked with fear gas back in the East End. We need blood samples to see how long the fear gas keeps its effects. Get them any way you want. The boss doesn't care what happens to them as long as he gets his samples.
That seems short-sighted. If you want to study the effects of the fear gas, why not make sure that you keep your subjects alive as long as possible, so you can study the effects over a longer period of time? That's interesting. This is one of the first times we've actually had reference to an earlier event in a later mission. Most of the time they don't talk about stuff that's happened before. I mean, sure, there's the Trigon Rising, there's the two Trigon Rising events, one of which, the later one of which references the fact that the earlier one happened. But other than that and this, it basically doesn't happen at all.
temperature's starting to drop again.
It is interesting to see SCU police around now. Like, you didn't see them until after the mission that introduced them as an idea happened with the Joker. In fact, we did it because it happened here in Gotham, and it was related to. It was the second of the 3 Joker mentor background missions, where we attacked during a celebration of the introduction of the SCU. So now that they've been introduced as a concept, they're appearing during the missions here in Gotham, where they didn't appear earlier, like when you were fighting against Bane or Scarecrow.
Mr. Freeze so far.
You're okay. Freeze wants to talk to you personally. I've cleared you to go into the hospital.
So, now you have clearance to go into the hospital and do something to Mr. Freeze as he attempts to turn all of Gotham into a winter wonderland with our stolen diamonds. I wish the Joker'd let me in on this joke. Oh well, don't mind me. I just work here.
I'll just pick up Gadgeteer pistols and see what they look like. Oh. Bit underwhelming, really. Nah. Don't want to keep them. Firstly, let's pick up this. Who's Pacho? Is this another scarecrow dude? Oh no, he's probably yeah, that's a Lucha Libre mask. This is probably Bane. I can hear. Oh, here we are. Connect to the Wi-Fi, you stupid piece of shit. And stay connected. Please. Don't dick about.
Hey man, you for hire? That freak of nature Cold Cuts? In his past life owes Bane money for Venom. Big time. I want you to get the money, one way or another.
Interesting.
Here we are, the Promised Land. Mr. Freeze's ice chamber inside Gotham General. Now, here's the plan. Mr. Freeze has been working on his cryotech for ages. Wants to resurrect the sick wife he's got stored in a giant ice cube or something. Well, wifey will have to wait. I need that deep freeze for some of the more alive ingredients of my new Joker toxin. I need you to get in there and upload the information from the maid cold core. Thanks. You're a real pal.
Seems dangerous for me. I would protest if I were not a joke android literally built for this kind of thing. And why there's just big old cubes of ice? Sure, they're dead useful, yeah. You can see this looks like it was an attack location where Mr. Freeze shot with his cold gun and hit a desk. I wonder if you can see similar things in the other locations. No. It might just be locations where he shot at people who were resisting him. Anyway, let's continue. Cool map, by the way. Pun not intended.
Ah, my new ally has arrived. Do not be alarmed by what you see. My beloved wife Nora lives in deep freeze. My new cryostasis delivery and maintenance system will allow her to emerge and live again with me in the winter world I will create for her in Gotham. Please do join me in initializing the procedure. Meet me in the power room at the end of the corridors.
I don't think that's how this will work. I mean, the reason that she's fine at the moment is because she's cryogenically frozen, but she's not conscious or active. If you take her out of the... If you cool the temperature in the surroundings down
Soon we shall be united once more.
so that it's like being in a cryo-freeze tube, and then take her out of the cryo-freeze tube, that doesn't mean she gets to walk around all fine. Like, that means she'll stay frozen while she's out of the tube as though she were in the tube. Like,
Just a few more calibrations.
this is not... This does not make any sense.
My dearest Nora, my wife, I would rather see the world buried under an ice age than see a hair on your head harmed.
Yeah, okay, buddy. No, can't do anything there. Alright. Don't eat yellow snow. Even if it's just because the light's shining on it weird. Don't take the risk. So this was a ward? What a weird shape for a ward.
Gotham will be iced over before anyone sees it coming.
I'm betting I'll have to fight my way out through these guys. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to get in here to the cold core, upload the plans, and then they're going to turn on me, and I'll have to fight my way out. That's what's going to happen.
Now upload the data to me. If Freeze sees you, you'll be an ice sculpture. His good nature only goes so far.
And that's
Mr. Freeze says
cold cut.
protect Gizmo, which protects Miss Nora. Then get more hot dog for my belly.
Cold cut, I don't trust these scum any further than you can throw them. Keep watch over the diamonds, and watch for a double cross.
I'm not after the diamonds, am I? How would I even... Getting the diamonds isn't something that Joker asked me to do.
You making me hungry. Stay still. Cold cut tummy. Feel
I wonder where I can bluff my way out of this. Just say, oh yeah, cold cuts fell over and that's why things aren't working properly anymore. Cold cut knocked over an important machine. It's not my fault. No. No, they're not buying it. Fair enough. That's a big wall of ice. Not structurally terribly sound, though, thankfully.
What is this? The procedure is failing. Nora? No! Traitor! Traitor! No!
I'm worried about being double-crossed. You should have put in more security.
You did this to my beautiful Nora. I was so close to bringing her back to me. You shall pay for your treachery.
I haven't done anything to her. Just made it so that you can't immediately take her back. Not that it would have worked in any case. You fucking loony. Huh. Playing the Gorilla Grodd music. Why?
Now, you imbeciles, kill this traitor!
I don't have the anti-freeze style unlocked on this character, but it provides no benefit to me in terms of stats, so I'll take this because it actually does. Table.
My Nora, frozen like my heart. All I do is for you alone. To bring you back. To give you the world you deserve. Nothing, no one will stand in the way of that. No hero, no villain. I will do this for you. I promise you. Soon, everyone will know how cold hell can be.
So right at the beginning of that cutscene, there was a shot of Freeze looking at Nora, and it had her hair up, swaying about, but a veil over her face swaying down here. Now there were bubbles rising in the solution that she was floating in, which would support the idea that her hair was being, you know, blown upwards by the current of the water, kind of flowing about. But what the heck is the deal with the veil down across the face, kind of wafting like that? What's going on there? How does that work? Very weird. Oh, I need to fight these two dudes before I'm allowed out. Oh, they've run away.
I'm burning up.
Ha! Got one of them. I don't think that he ever manages to free Nora, no. Sometimes other villains destroy Nora, hoping to put him into like a state of permanent fury. Like, they may try and frame Batman as having done it, or they'll just do it and try and get him to go nuts. But no, he never, as far as I know, there are no stories where Freeze ever manages to cure his wife or free her so that she can continue her life, which is kind of sad. Every time I pass this, I'm curious about what is going on here, and I'm hoping that at some point during villain activities I'll find out. Like, this might be the location of the final magic villain story, if your mentor is Circe. So I mean, it might be that even after I've gotten to max level with this character, I won't find out what's going on here, but I'm hopeful that I will eventually. I'm hoping that this will be explored, just villain side, and I don't have to be a magic villain. I think he did in the animated series and in the Harley show. Oh, okay, cool.
Ah, there you are. Still room temperature and diamonds intact. They may be a girl's best friend, but friends are overrated, as Mr. Freeze has just learned. Ah, well, we'll have plenty of time to brood over it when the SCU busts in to take him to Arkham. And now my dreams of Joker toxin over ice will finally be a reality. I call that a win. Ta-ta!
You're really making... I mean, his words really should make any villain working for him pause and go, maybe I'll get double-crossed by the Joker at some point as well. In the specific case of Joke Android 9000, I don't think that's going to happen. He's been programmed to be to follow Joker's orders, and so that's what he's doing. I don't think the thought enters Joke Android 9000's head to wonder about the future as it relates to... Ooh, Dr. Zatanna. As it relates to what will happen with the Joker and double crosses. Mr. Freeze, cold comfort. My Nora almost dead. My diamonds stolen. Gathering up some of my private communiques pales in comparison. Always remember that old saying about vengeance, my friend. Every dish I prepare is a dish served cold. Oh yeah. So Dr. Zatanna is a mad genius inventor who is mainly a villain of Captain Marvel or Shazam. This version, the version of him you see in the film Shazam is quite different from how he is usually portrayed.
I'm busy. But not so busy that I can't sell you some gear.
Oh, whoops. Want that necklace back. Didn't notice it was slightly better. No, okay, nothing else is...
I'm busy. But not so busy that I can't sell you some gear.
Nothing else is worth keeping.
Ah, it's my partner in crime. I hear you took down half of Gotham PD to get these back from Mr. Freeze. You certainly know how to make enemies. But then, we all have two sides.
Very deep of you, Mr. Two-Face. Certainly didn't see that kind of phrase coming from you.
Calculator here. Ever hear of the religion of crime? That's Intergang's latest scheme for world domination. They say the crime Bible foretells their rise to power. I say we need to get our hands on that book. Go see Deathstroke in the Burnley nightclub for more.
What a coincidence. I happen to be there right now.
So you think you can take on Intergang? I applaud your ambition. They've created a religion of crime that promises they'll take over the world. I'd stop them myself, but there's no bounty in it. Yet.
So, Intergang's famed crime Bible. Sounds like fascinating reading. Let's go check out that book. Permanently. Intergang's latest hotspot is now on your map.
He'll only do something for money, will Deathstroke? I wonder if he'll do anything for money. I wonder if I could pay him to blow a horse. Or, fuck a cactus.
I'm not afraid of
Oh, you don't want to, Mr. Stroke? That's funny. Might put a bounty on the cactus. I want you to fuck it. Up, fuck it up. Yes, haha. I'm just coming up with these because I'm trying to find ways to mock idiot villains that I think are stupid.
This is Commissioner Gordon to all units. The hitman called Deathstroke the Terminator has been sighted in Gotham. If you know his reputation, you know he always fulfills his contract. He has enhanced reflexes, skills with many different weapon types, and a deadly aim. Do not attempt to apprehend. Contact the Special Crimes Unit immediately for backup. Repeat, upon sight, report immediately to the SCU. Gordon out.
Apparently Deathstroke, or Terminator, came up with his own name. I don't believe that the Terminator is an epithet anyone else would come up for someone. And it seems like he invented the name when he was about 14. Suffering from Chunibuyu disease. In-universe. Out-of-universe, of course, is just another twit who never got over... I'm 14 and this is super deep and rad. We're just about at 3 hours. So I hate to tease and leave, but we're basically at the end of my stream. I'll be calling it here. I definitely don't want to take the sort of 20 to 30 minutes it would be to complete the whole arc, and I don't really feel like spending the 5 or 10 minutes in the penthouse to take on Intergang now. So yeah, I'll be back on Monday around 8 p.m. GMT, and I will try and aim for 8 this time rather than half 8, as seems to have become my habit so far. It's not intentional, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.